Hello everyone, welcome back to a slightly different video today. I actually have the controller in my hands. So, having helped Paladin dance Kalera Arctic, we're back at Sanctuary and we're going to do a bit of a review to check out how well we've been doing as Wolverine now that we're level 10. So, let's go have a quick look in our specials. So we now have 7 strength, 3 perception, our 10 endurance, 1 charisma, 2 intelligence, 6 agility, and 2 luck still. And this is almost exactly the same as where we started. We've just boosted 1 perception from the perception bobblehead and 1 intelligence from leveling up. Now, I think this was a pretty good start, a pretty good way to make Wolverine.
Alright, Steve, you've done pretty well with Wolverine so far, but let's see how you fare against our self-proclaimed comics expert, me. Let's take a look at your special stats, shall we? Everything's looking pretty good. You've been balancing gameplay with the role-playing a bit nicely, but what the hell is with that perception? You should know that one of Wolverine's main mutant powers is his superhuman senses. You can't ignore that.
Obviously, the endurance is essential at 10. However, I think we could have done a little bit better here in charisma, intelligence, and agility. Now, we chose agility purely for a role-playing aspect, even though there's not much that we really want down this agility perk tree. Whereas one of our key perks, Lone Wanderer, is actually over here in the charisma category. So actually, what I think would have been better is if we would have started with 4 agility instead of 6, we could have put those extra 2 points into charisma, which would have allowed us to gain access to Lone Wanderer right from the beginning.
You make a good point about the charisma though. Balancing that out a bit higher, allowing you to take the Lone Wanderer perk is pretty Wolverine. Wolverine's the kind of guy who will happily murder people on his own. But when it comes to later on and we introduce ourselves to more companions, you need to remember that Wolverine's a team player. He's a member of the X-Men, he ran X-Force, he's been a member of the Avengers. There's so many comics where Wolverine's like, I'm on too many teams, so you can't be having him with no charisma at all.
And I think that would have eliminated possibly the only real mistake that we've made so far, I think, leveling up and with our perks, which brings us on to moving target. Now, I think the rest of the perks that we've taken have been perfectly spot on. We needed to take Blacksmith in order to create our Wolverine Knuckles. We obviously need Iron Fists for our melee damage. We want Life Giver, particularly rank 3, for that Wolverine regeneration. And obviously it goes without saying that we need Adamantium Skeleton. Then our Solar Powered is a gameplay reason, and it would be kind of stupid not to take the most powerful perk in the Endurance tree. So, whilst it's not one of our key perks, I think it's definitely worth taking.
I agree with you on the front of solar powered. Wolverine sure as hell isn't a plant, but it would be ridiculous not to have the most powerful regenerative power on the skill tree, so go for it. And anything to boost his strength a little bit higher, do some more damage with the claws. I agree with it. In regards to the claws, what's going on with those knuckles? There's a goddamn Wolverine claw mod that you should be having, and you better put a link in the description, Bubble. We're gonna have words.
But then our other 2 key perks, Lone Wanderer and Bloody Mess, we've still not yet been able to take. So if we had kind of slightly adjusted our special stats at the beginning of the game, that would have given us the chance to take Lone Wanderer. And then at the beginning, in our first 5 levels I believe, when I wasn't sure which perk to take because none of our other key perks were available to us, if we'd have distributed our special just a little bit better, we could have taken that Lone Wanderer and given ourselves 15% less damage and more carry weight, which could have been really important. So, whilst overall I think the perks that we have taken have been perfect for what we wanted to do, we did end up with moving target, which at the time I thought would be a lot more useful, but as we've been going through the game, I've realised that I'm not actually sprinting in combat situations very often. It's really only when I've been trying to get back to Sanctuary or move to a new location. I'm not sprinting much in combat, and that's only when this applies. So it's turned out to be not the most useful. I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, we could have taken Aqua Boy, but it could have been spent much better on this Lone Wanderer. So I think overall we've done well with our special. We boosted our strength to 7 with the special book, which I think was fine, to give us that extra power, which links up beautifully with Iron Fist. 3 perception, maybe a little low here in the perception, but again, like, we are limited in the game in what we can do. And then, of course, we do have low intelligence, which is really not Wolverine at all. But as I said, we're going to try and progressively move this up as we go along. So hopefully, as we continue playing through, this is something that we can rectify. So what we want to do next with this special and our perks is we want to get the luck bobblehead so that we can take Bloody Mess finally. And then we want to put some more points into charisma so that we can work towards getting this Lone Wanderer. So we can see here that we can't take Iron Fist, Life Giver until the end of our next 10 levels. Only Adamantium Skeleton becomes available at 13. So there's nothing else that we can actually take perk-wise at level 11 and 12. So what I think we'll do is once we get that luck bobblehead, we'll take 2 perks in Bloody Mess straight away, which will be at 0 level or level 1 and then level 9. So that will be rank 11 and rank 12. Then rank 13 we can come across and take Adamantium Skeleton once again. And then for 14, 15 and 16 we can improve our charisma to 14, 15, then take the perk at 16 and take the second rank of the perk at level 17.
In regards to plans for the future, I think that if you're really serious about getting that Lone Wanderer perk, then you should go for the Charisma Bobblehead. It's a little bit quest locked, but not to the extent that you have to play for hours to try and get to it. Take the other quest, work for that Lone Wanderer perk, and free yourself another point.
Then that will bring us to level 18 for Iron Fist. Then we'll have 1 spare level at 19, which... oh, we can't do Bloody Mess, that's miles off. So 19, we could then use that to again boost our intelligence, and then that brings us to 20 for our full rank of Life Giver. So that's kind of going to be our plan in relation to our perks and our specials for the next 10 levels. Now, as far as our gameplay goes, I think we've done pretty well. Speaking with the Brotherhood of Steel, we've seen them as quite a violent and angry group that often use violence instead of diplomacy to get their jobs done. So I think we've been right not to side with the Brotherhood for now, because we don't want to condemn all of the synths to hell, as the Brotherhood would make us believe. We believe that everyone should have the right. So I think in terms of the Brotherhood, we've been doing a pretty good job. And with our playstyle, we've got our knuckles, which are perfect. We've been running in there. We've not used any weapons, which is perfect. We've been keeping strict to the only melee attacks. Even in our power armor, we only adopted the punches to kill that Deathclaw from earlier on. So, and I think our tactics have been pretty good. We need to rely heavily on the fact that we need to understand that we are playing on survival, so it is a little bit bullet spongy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves when it comes to gameplay. Sure, Wolverine can sneak. He's been a member of more Black Ops teams than I care to mention. But there's a big difference between what Wolverine does and the way you're playing. I saw you in that episode when it came to the Raider and the power armor. You were edging towards him, backing away, edging towards him, backing away. That's not Wolverine. You want to get those brass knuckles, you want to run at him, and then you want to punch so many holes in him that he bleeds to death.
People take a lot of time to die, and we're not invincible, so we need to be a little bit cautious. But overall, I think we have done pretty good for Wolverine so far.
I think the way you've handled yourself in the Commonwealth is perfectly respectable. You've exploded more zombie heads than I care to imagine, and the way you've dealt with the Brotherhood has been fine. You're working with them, maybe for them, but Wolverine sure isn't going to hang around and stick to their agenda.
So this has just been a little short video to kind of give some thoughts on how the first 10 levels of Wolverine has been, and kind of give you an idea into where we're going next with the character and his perks. So we're going to get that luck up, get Bloody Mess, then work our way through that charisma perk to get Lone Wanderer. And then we're going to continue on exploring a wasteland to see what other exciting adventures are in store for our Wolverine.
And so I'll wrap this off with a congratulations of reaching your first level 10 milestone with Wolverine. Old Man Logan is a difficult one to adapt, especially given that nobody loves wandering a wasteland like Old Man Logan loves wandering a wasteland. Well done, Steve. Let's try and get those sideburns back, shall we?
So, thank you for watching and keep coming back.